Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Auburn Yoga and Pilates. So, welcome. Today we're going to do a combo class. Part Pilates, part yoga. We've done a few of them before. Now my plan was to do a class with light weights. However, I cannot locate my light weights. So I'm going to have to dig around for them a bit more. And I promise that the next combo yoga and Pilates class will be with weights. So today we're going to go a little impromptu and we're going to do a leg focused Pilates workout. We will start with some general core and then we will move on to legs and then do a little bit of yoga. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we'll start off supine. So coming down, you want your legs bent, your feet planted. Pilates breath is inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Now, when you inhale, you're trying to avoid using a deep belly breath. You're basically trying to fill up that area through your rib cage. And then exhale, you want to pull those abdominals towards your spine and almost think of blowing the air out of you like a corset was tightening on you. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. One more time, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Now keeping the back of the rib cage planted. Bring those arms up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Really lengthen those arms. Focus on feeling those triceps in the upper back of the arm engage. And then hold those arms by your side. If you're able to, come up into a cervical nod. Long neck, tuck chin, modified, drop the head down. Now, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Dropping that head down. Modify. Keep your legs down. Do the same thing that we just did. Or more advanced, take those legs out, externally rotate them. So heels together, toes slightly turned out. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And dropping that down. And then taking those knees into your chest. Modify, keep your head and shoulders down. More advanced. Lift that head up, grabbing either just under the knee or the knee and the ankle. Switch. Single leg stretch. And take those legs in. Now reach those hands down by those ankles. Again, if you can, long neck, tuck chin. Otherwise, head is down. Lengthen. Pull in. Lengthen. Pull in. Four more of these double leg stretches. And dropping that head down, placing those feet down. Taking your right hand behind your head, just using those fingers to gently cradle the skull, and allowing that left arm to rest out somewhere to the side, twist, twist. So you're bringing your right shoulder toward the left side of your body. Using those obliques through your side waist. And this time, at that left leg is extended. Now bring the knee in the direction of the shoulder, twisting. You can keep the leg bending and lengthening, or a little more challenging is a longer lever. Keeping that leg long, lift as you twist, drop the leg as you come back. And drop it down. Trying the same thing on the other side. So taking those left fingertips right behind the skull, cradling the skull, and twist. Over and back. And leg extends, take it in. If you'd like, extend the leg. Trying to lead with your shoulder rather than your elbow. Last one. Dropping that leg down. Now taking both legs up, taking the fingers of both hands behind your skull. Long neck, tuck chin. We're going to come into the crisscross. So we're going to combine some of those moves that we just did. Lengthen. Now you choose. Taking your legs higher is a little easier than taking your legs lower. Lots of places in the middle. And holding it center. Taking your head down. Taking your arms by your sides. Lengthening those legs. Coming into leg drops. So we will come down for 2 and up for 2. Coming down, coming up. Now it may be that you cannot drop your legs down so low without lifting your rib cage. That's okay. Do a modified version. You don't always have to drop your legs so low. And last one. And tuck those knees in and rolling over to one side. So we'll do some side leg series. So a little bit of the core. Now more into side leg. Now you have some options. You can simply rest your head on your arm. You could use a pillow or a towel to prop up your head. Or you could come up onto your elbow in a lifted position. Oftentimes, people will come into this position, which is not always sometimes people put a little stress on their cervical spine because they sort of go out of alignment there. So find a place that works for you. Stack your hips. This is going to be very important to make sure that you keep your upper hip directly placed over your lower hip. Try not to let it go back. If you take class with me, you know sometimes I will stand literally with my shin against the back of someone's hips to make sure that they're not going back. You don't always realize it, so try to be conscious. And we're going to come into a little external rotation here. So your legs are bent, your feet are together. Oftentimes this is referred to as the clam because you look like a little clam shell. And then hold it up, little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, back to down and up. Big range of motion. Hold it up, pulse. Now hold it here. Again, keep the hips stacked, knee to knee, toe to toe. Now you want to get as much internal rotation as you can. So try to get that knee to point downward, that foot to start to turn upward, and then as much external rotation as you can without that hip falling back. Make it the leg actually externally rotate. So down and up. And one more set of 8. And hold it internally rotated. So get as much internal rotation as you can while still keeping that hip stacked, and then lift and drop. It's like you're pushing that heel up to the ceiling. Now, ideally, you would do it without doing what I just did, which is to use the assistance of my arm kickstand to help me stay stable. If you could, all that stability would come from the core. Sometimes when I'm talking and doing this, I find that I start getting a little wobbly if I don't put the hand down. So feel free to use that hand for support if you need to. You should feel a sensation through your glute, through your outer hip. Only 2 more, thank goodness. And taking that leg down. We'll do just a few more. Now we are going to lift the ankle to the same height as the knee. So we're going to lift for 2 and drop for 2. Lift for 2 and drop for 2. So no longer doing the clam, doing a bent leg lift. And now singles, lift and drop. Two more. and dropping it down. We'll do a very quick little stretch here, letting that upper leg fall forward toward the floor. You can extend that lower leg. Again, just releasing through that outer hip and thigh. And switch. So coming into side 2. Coming down. Stacking those hips, bending those legs, and clam. Engage those abdominals to help keep you steady. Oh, I forgot to hold it up and pulse, pulse. And then down and up again. Hold it up, pulse. Hold it here. Now internally rotate, externally rotate, and keep that going. And hold it here. Now press that leg up and down. Again, as internally rotated as you can make it. If you're not feeling a strong sensation right here, then try to get more internal rotation in. Last one. And taking it back down. Reestablishing those stacked hips. Now lift that upper leg for 2 counts and drop it for 2 counts. So coming up, dropping down. Now singles, lift and drop. Last one. Dropping it down and resting that leg, letting it fall in front of you and extending that other leg. And then rolling over, lifting yourself up, coming into an all fours position. So we've been going just about 20 minutes, and we'll try to go for about 20 minutes more. Now transitioning that Pilates into yoga. So starting off with some cat and cows. So I am taping this during the coronavirus crisis. So during my day job, I am working from home. I don't generally spend hours on end in front of a computer monitor like I have been over these last couple weeks. And what I've realized is that what they say about sitting for long periods of time is really true. Holding a neutral spine, letting those hips fall back towards your heels, take your knees wider if you want. I am fortunate enough to never really say that I have a sore back. And I'm sure that even the level of soreness that I now feel is probably minor compared to many people. But I have noticed that sitting for hours a day has caused me to have a little bit of back discomfort, which makes me even more appreciative of my yoga practice, which usually, keeps that feeling away. So I hope that those of you who are maintaining your yoga practice, shifting forward, wrists slightly ahead of your shoulders, curl your toes under, lift your knees and hips for down dog, bend your knees if you need to. Those of you who are maintaining your yoga practice, I hope that you are grateful for how healthy and happy it generally keeps you back. For those of you who are revisiting the yoga practice or maybe finding yoga for the first time, I hope that you do find that happiness. Dropping those knees down, and then you could use blocks if you find you need the extra space, or you can simply step your right foot forward, front knee over that front ankle, and sweep those arms up for a knee down lunge pose. So trying to keep your front knee aligned over the ankle, and then trying to stay heavy through your sitting bones to find length through the front of that hip. If you're able to, reach your arms up, and not only up, but if you can, back by the ears. If you have existing shoulder issues, you probably want to avoid bringing them too far back. Exhale, sweep those arms down, sliding that leg back, and then stepping the opposite leg forward. And then from here, inhale, sweeping those arms up. Again, getting heavy through your hips, trying to find that lengthening in that hip flexor. Also, of course, talking about the back, lengthening the spine, and finally the arms. Exhale those arms down. Now this time I'm going to curl the back toes under. We're going to take the back foot and we're going to step it forward to come into a forward fold. Use blocks if you need to, if the floor seems very far away. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Allow your spine to decompress. So gravity is obviously pulling a little it differently here. Inhale, heart forward, head forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale those arms down. And then again, inhale, sweep those arms up. Really lengthen. Now if you want, you can come into a little yoga mudra. You can interlace those fingers, except for the index finger, or not. Ground through your feet. Really grow roots down through the floor and lengthen as long as you can. Keep grounded through your feet and go over to the right. I'm going to mirror you, so I am going left. Try to get a lot of length in that side body. I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like this feels wonderful. Coming up and coming over to the other side. Not really a gambler, but I would bet that if you are in a similar situation and have found yourself in front of your computer monitor a bit more recently, that your back, especially your lower back, is probably thanking you. Coming back up to center, exhaling those arms down. So we're going to come into a few sun salutations. So feel free to modify this if you don't generally practice yoga sun salutations. Lots of variations of how you can do it. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweep those arms down. Inhale, heart forward, head forward. Exhale, fold forward. So ideally your hands are going to plant right beside your pinky toe. Now you're going to step down back to plank. You can modify by stepping to a knee down plank. And then those of you who generally practice, go into Chaturanga and up dog. Otherwise, slowly descend down to the floor. Pin those elbows back behind those shoulders. Activate those legs. You can lift into a little baby cobra, or if you're feeling a little more adventurous, you can lift into up dog, press back, down dog. Now at any point, if this becomes too much, feel free to rest in child. That's what we constantly tell people at the studio. It's your practice and every day is different. Sometimes you need that time to rest and regroup. But either way, there is a sort of place to rest and regroup here in down dog. Traditional Surya Namaskar A, we hold here about 5 deep diaphragmatic breaths, and that's 5 cycles of breath, 5 inhales and 5 exhales. Lift up to the balls of the feet, step or hop your feet forward into that forward fold. Inhale, heart forward, head forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep those arms up, reaching up to the ceiling, grounding down through the feet. Exhale those arms down. So trying the same thing, I'll do more of a traditional sun salutation this time. Feel free to do whatever variation you'd like. Inhale those arms up. Exhale those arms down. Inhale, heart forward, head forward. Exhale, fold forward. Step to plank. Lower to Chaturanga. Lift, up dog. Press back. Holding down dog. So we talked about Pilates breathing at the beginning of the class when we were in the Pilates section. Here, practicing yoga breathing, a little bit different. Yoga breathing is a nostril breath, ideally in through the nose, out through the nose. and it fills your entire torso. Filling your belly, filling your chest, filling your rib cage, and emptying that air out. Lift the balls of the feet. Step or hop your feet forward. Heart forward, head forward, fold forward. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale those arms down. So I'll show you yet one more variation of this sun salutation. It's a little harder. Rather than stepping back to plank and lowering to chaturanga, you jump directly to chaturanga. I hope it comes out okay. You know it's live, there are no retakes. It's obviously more advanced. Years ago, people used to jump back to plank. That is not advised. It's found that it's caused a lot of shoulder damage because the shoulder girdle isn't that stable. So jumping to chaturanga is recommended. Anyway, inhaling those arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, heart forward, head forward. Exhale, fold forward. Jump to chaturanga. And then lift to up dog. Press back, down dog. So again, that is just an option. Feel free to do version 1, which was going to a knee down plank, descending to the floor, and then lifting to either cobra or up dog. Or version 2, which was stepping back to plank, lowering to chaturanga. Or version 3, jumping back to chaturanga. And then lift up to the balls of your feet. Step or hop, feet forward. Heart forward, head forward, fold forward. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale those arms down. We'll do one more round of Surya Namaskar A. You choose. So, any variation that you would like. Make it a moving meditation. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, go back. Eventually, finding yourself in down dog. And then dropping those knees, dropping those hips, coming into some form of child's pose. So stretching the arms straight out, draping the arms by your side, or propping up your forehead. I tend to choose the propping up your forehead version because if my face gets too close to my mat, you won't be able to hear me. And then coming up into an all fours position and transitioning into a seated position. Now sometimes it's difficult to lengthen your spine. sitting directly on the floor. Feel free to elevate your hips by sitting on a pillow or a folded blanket. Taking the bottom of your feet together, and sometimes you have to do a little shift from side to side like I just did to find your sitting bones. Sometimes the flesh gets, in the way and the sitting bones become disconnected. Folding forward. Hopefully finding a nice stretch in your back body, and hopefully finding a nice opening in your outer and inner thighs. Taking those deep diaphragmatic breaths and allowing. So trying to let go of any expectations about where you should be. There is really no should, and as I always mention, every day is different. So maybe you feel like today you should be. As difficult as that is, try to let go of the should be and just accept where you are and allow. This is what feels right for me today. I am getting a benefit from being here, present in this place today. And then just allow yourself to be there. Try to let go of some of that tension that sometimes arises with some of those expectations. And then coming up. And then if your feet were further away, like mine, bring them closer. If you started with your feet closer to your hips, bring them further. Just a little different kind of stretch. Often known as butterfly pose. The Sanskrit for this is Baddha Konasana. And then coming up out of this one, lengthening those legs and coming into a supine position. Most people don't. Sometimes people do. If you have tight hips, you may end up wanting a strap, but not necessarily required. So coming down and bending those legs and planting those feet. And then hopefully your torso is somewhat centered in the middle of your mat. If not, try to center yourself, or if you're not laying on a mat at this moment, try to really just get a place on where you are. And then walk your feet out to what would be the edges of your mat. So if you're on a mat, walk them out to the edges. And then allow those legs to windshield side to side. You can bring your arms straight out to the side with your palms facing upward so that the shoulders are in external rotation. Holding it in the center, bringing those feet back to hip distance apart. Taking the leg up, crossing it over, flexing the inside foot, and coming into as much external rotation as you comfortably can. Now this may be enough of a hip stretch for you. This is where sometimes people will use a belt. Oftentimes it's not necessary. You can Lift that leg up. If you have trouble reaching your hamstring, you can use a belt. Similarly, if you cannot reach your shin, you could also use one here. So lots of different variations. Pay attention to not only the sensation that you're feeling in the hip and thigh, hopefully, of your inside leg. Also pay attention to the position of your head. Oftentimes people with tight hips will struggle and they'll end up with their chin up in the air. And their head just not really in a comfortable placement. Try to keep your chin about level with your forehead or under your forehead. And then switching sides. So coming down, taking that other leg, crossing it over, flexing that foot, and again, maybe you stay here, or maybe you come up into a deeper hip stretch. Keep pulling the pinky toe of that inside foot back toward the knee. And if you don't feel any sensation, think about taking that left knee closer to the left shoulder. And there is something important about being on a direct path from the left knee to the left shoulder. Do not let that left knee move toward the belly button and sort of track toward the belly button. You'll lose a little hip stretch. And dropping it down, and then just lengthening an extended mountain here in a supine position. Extend those arms, extend those legs, reach. Can we ever decompress the spine too much? I don't think so. Probably, but. And then we did just about 20 minutes of Pilates and just about 20 minutes of yoga. And for our hard work, we can now come into final relaxation. Remember that this would be a time where you could, if you wanted, mute me. I won't be offended. Maybe put on some sound meditation. Or some nice soothing music. That really allows you to feel relaxed and at peace. If you're still tuning in, focus on exhaling away any tension or tightness. So initially, you may notice you feel a little tight through your chest or through your jaw. back. You know, those, I'll call them fairly common places. But I encourage you to be a little bit more introspective. Can you relax your fingers? Can you relax your belly? Can you relax your ankles? What about the creases around your eyes? Find those little places. Keep building that awareness. Maybe not adjust those big, loud voices that we hear, but also from those little, more subtle voices that are saying, I'm here too. Wiggling your fingers, your toes. Eventually, bending your legs, planting your feet. Rolling over to one side. And coming up. A seated position, coming into some seated cat and cows. So remember, cat and cows are all about flexion and extension. So flex. Bring your sternum, your shoulders closer to your pelvis. Extend. Get nice and long. Then holding it in the center and closing that chain. Sometimes when you really get tuned into your own energy, you can feel how different positions change the way the energy flows inside of your body. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay. Remember, it's a journey. The light within me salutes the light within you. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. If there are any common poses that you would like broken down, like just on their own, you know, you're not sure if down dog is quite right or something like that, let us know. We'll try to accommodate as many requests as we can. Since it's a different environment, obviously, than usually when people are in the studio and we can verbally tell them, you know, shift your hands this way or your legs this way. If you want something a little more broken down, let us know. But take care. Have a good day. I hope you're all well.